This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Alright, so this is a pretty strong pack overall. We are going to be taking the rare. I mean, it's a great card. Early, turn 4, it's just a really efficient creature. And then in the late game, if it's still around and you use its ability, you pretty much just win. So that's what we'll be taking here, Ulvenwald Oddity. If we didn't have such a good rare, I would be probably, we've got Laid to Rest here, which is a build-around, but a really nice one. Resistance Squad, you have to build a little bit around, but it's also really good. I think those would be the next cards for me, followed by like the Imprisonment. This set actually, pack has a lot of good white cards in it because Fleeting Spirit's really good too. Griff Rider's even quite good. So yeah, a lot of good white. I'll take the Oddity though. Okay, right. Okay, so Spiked Ripsaw seems pretty good. It's just the kind of thing that makes any creature into a threat. We also have a Foreboding Statue, though, and I think I might just like it more. Like, the fixing it and ramp it provides is good, and then it transforms into a very real thing. It's really between those two cards. Cruel Witness, Sigarda's Imprisonment, these are nice, but not amazing. Same thing with Lunar Rejection. I think we take the Statue here. There's not a lot of fixing in this set, and opening up the ability to splash a little more easily is always good, but I also just think it's a very good card, like, overall. Thank you for the sub, Obi-Wan Kenobi. We'll grab the Statue here. Okay. What do we have here? Well, a much less exciting pack than our first two, I think. What's the best card in this pack? It's not a great pack overall. This thing has potential, but you have to set it up just right. I like there's lots of solid cards. I like the Infantry a fair bit. I like the Skywarp Scob in the right deck. I'm leaning a little towards Toxic Scorpion, but I don't know. I feel like it can't be the best card in this pack. But maybe it just is, Death Touch, give Death Touch to a thing. Yeah, I think it's what we take here. Okay, so Biolume Egg is excellent, but you basically have to end up in blue-black or with like 4 or 5... Well, you don't have to. It's playable in any deck. But ideally, you end up, in blue-black and have lots of exploit. And currently, that's not where we are. It is decent in any sort of defensive deck. If you're not an aggro deck, you don't really want it, but other than that... Okay. So, this is a great 2-drop. I'm leaning a little towards it. Grizzly Ritual's okay, but I don't love it overall. It's so expensive. Like, yeah, I would play one, but I think getting a really good 2-drop sounds good to me. And that's where we're going to go here. The Biolume Egg is pretty tempting, but yeah. Okay, so Crawling Infestation is a nice build around, especially if you're in blue-green. Another Toxic Scorpion, which I don't love. We've also got Dig Up as our rare. I mean, it's nice fixing, and then it has this Tutor upside, which, it's not an incredible card. It's the kind of card people always overrate, especially if they're used to playing like EDH, where Tutors are bonkers. They're not so good in Limited, for the most part. You have to get down to about 2 mana before a Tutor starts to get interesting in Limited. Anyway, yeah... I think I'm going to take another Toxic Scorpion here. Okay, yeah, so we're getting, decent aggro cards. This is a pretty late Imprisonment. I do think it's, worse in this format than it would be in most. Frenzied Devils, nice, decent enough spell build around. I'm leaning a little towards Imprisonment. I mean, these are okay green cards, but I think we could use removal, So somebody might make a 2 Crawling Infestation deck, which can be pretty exciting. But yeah. Okay, so another decent white card. I'd probably take it here over... Well, that's actually a Wolf Strike, just kidding. Nice removal spell. I think it's what we take here for sure. Okay. All right, I'll take the Saw Blade Slinger. You know, it's mostly... I mean, it'll be interesting how it shakes out, but, like, half the time, it's probably just a 4-mana 4/3, but the upside's real, and a 4-mana 4/3 isn't, like, a bad card, so... So Laid to Rest came back, which is intriguing. Makes me start to consider pushing harder into the Humans deck. Royal Recruit's pretty good too, but I think this is a good enough build around, and I want to try it out, of course. That I think it's what I'm going to take. Yeah. Right, we get some more fixing here in Weaver of Blossoms. I like the Scavenger okay, so rather have that than a trick. The Wolf's fine. Green seems quite open. It's not as clear what else is open, I don't think. You know, we've got one white card, one red card. Decent enough 2-drop. We wouldn't mind picking up some of the Wolf payoffs. Ooh, okay. So we definitely take Torrens. He's great. You know, we were just talking about going into green-white, and he's, you know, the rare that's the card with all the build-around potential for the green-white color pair. So it is what we take here. Brambleworm's a sweet card if you're, you know, in a slower deck. Obviously, Hero's Downfall is good. Gutter Skulker is good. So 3 really good uncommons in this pack, but the rare is better than all of them. So, you know, we'll take Torrens here. Definitely pushes us into green-white, more likely being where we're going to go. Probably just take Spore Crawler here. Starling Wolf's not bad. You know, maybe I'd actually rather have the Ancestor. It's never a human, which matters, but I do like the Ancestor okay. Spore Crawler, I like as well. I think I like Spore Crawler a little better. You know, it's easier to get a 2-for-1 with, and I love those. There's a Vile Spawn Spider, which is pretty good. You do have to kind of build around it a bit, and it does feel like we want to be in green-white more than anything else. So I don't think it's what I take here. This pack isn't a great one. You know, the Wolf, if we ended up in red-green, is actually pretty good. Spider's pretty good if we're in blue-green. I think we probably just take this 2-drop. So I think we're going to be green-white. I think we have a lot of reason to be at this point. Between Laid to Rest. Well, Laid to Rest most of all, but, you know, we have various counter things going on already too, so... So Toxic Scorpion does get better with Wolf Strike. Something to keep in mind. Wow. So this pack has like nothing for us. We do not want Supernatural Rescue. I don't really want Ceremonial Knife. I don't really want Blood Servitor. Yeah. I could cut the white card just to cut it, but I feel like there's probably more value in just taking the best card out of this pack, and maybe we don't end up in green-white. I mean, that's a real possibility. These artifacts are all mediocre. Yeah. I think I'll take Screaming Swarm here. We can splash, so it's not the craziest thing. I mean, we have the Werewolf that adds mana, and we have the statue. So, you know, yeah. So this is interesting, but not really. I think I just take Riff Rider. It's a great common. Yeah, it's like, are people really cutting in on green and white hardcore? I guess maybe. I don't think we love the Millipede, but maybe we take a look at it. We've got 12 creatures. It does get counters. I already have one Snarling Wolf, and I'm not, like, pumped about taking another one. But I kind of doubt I play the Millipede, too. We'll just take the Wolf. Okay, so I think we take Estwald Shield Basher over Nurturing Presence. The Shield Basher just is such a good, well, you know, Basher. Great attacker. You can put counters on it really effectively, etc. Okay, so I think we take Heron of Hope. We are ending up with a lot of higher mana cost cards in this pack. But, yeah. It does feel like our colors got cut pretty hard this time, this pack. So, I think I like Lantern Bearer the best of all the cards. We do have 3 playable blue cards, so who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Yet another Snarling Wolf. This time I do think we take the Ancestor. Pack 1, pick 1 was Ulvenwald Oddity. I'm a little concerned about how this pack has started to go, but we would like to lower our curve a little bit. I guess we'll grab this Wedding. Well, you know, this wolf is still here. I think I grab it on the off chance we end up going back into that. I kind of doubt we do, but it's good enough that I think we want to do that. All right, I mean, don't love it, but it's not a complete disaster in our deck. Kind of hope we don't play it, though. Yeah, that pack didn't go super well for us, I would say. Other than the Taurens, right? I mean, that was great. Other than that, it was a unimpressive pack. I'd like to lower our curve some in this last pack. More removal's always good, too. Okay. This pack has some nice stuff in it for lots of people. Stenzia Uprising is, I think, pretty good. It's a weird card, but I think it's pretty good. Dawnheart Disciple's a nice 2-drop. I mean, we have a lot of humans at this point. 6. We actually could use more for it to be really good. We also have the Escort here who likes counters, but I think we probably just take the removal. We don't have any, so we have very little, so I think we have to take something like the Circle. I would really like the Disciple or the Recruit or the Escort to come back. We'll see what happens. Ooh, okay. It's another 4, but it's a good enough one that I think I take it here over the Parish Blade Trainee. Yeah, so. Thank you for the follow, Comfortably Numb and Mr. Anime Shane. So yeah, we'll grab Riftwing Cavalry here over Parish Blade Trainee. Send in Pack Leader's interesting. We have a few cards that'll make it bigger, but not a lot. I think generally that's kind of how you're going to end up. We'll grab another Griff Rider here. Yeah. Give me those counters. Wouldn't hate like another big counter payoff, but I mean, we're not desperate for them exactly. Sometimes you do pivot late, but it depends on what your deck looks like. This isn't really a case where we can, because we're spread pretty evenly between green and white. Ooh. All right, we're going to grab the Quartermaster. It's another expensive card, but it's really strong, so I don't care. We'll have to trim some 4s, but Quartermaster is great, and it's what we're going to take here. Okay, back to there not being great things in this pack. These packs have been interesting. Like, that was a pretty late Angelic Quartermaster, but now we're getting kind of shafted. So we're going to take the Minister. I may end up playing it just because I'm desperate to lower my curve. It does help with training, and we do have training, so that's a thing. I like Adamant Will more than I like Bride's Gown. It's a decent enough trick. I don't think we wanted either of these cards. Could have definitely had a, you know, if we took that Spider and went hard into blue-green. Yeah. So we could splash something, but we don't really have anything worth splashing, I don't think. So I don't think we will be. Alright, I like the Roro Recruit here, although it is another 4. So maybe I don't love it. I think we'll take the Weaver. Aha! The Disciple did come back, and we definitely take it. So, we're not really interested in the Heron in this deck. I'm just sort of trimming some stuff now, because we don't actually have that much to trim, but we're going to need to trim things up here for the most part. So there's an Unholy Efficient, which I don't love, but I kind of doubt I'd play another Heron of Hope. It's more likely I play a 1-drop than even though I don't think I play either of those. This Beguiler is such a weird card. It does things you want limited cards to do, like the tap effect, but it coming as late as it does is pretty suboptimal. Yeah, we do have... as my voice cracks. We do have the 2 Weavers, and yeah, we have Ramp, which I guess will help our bad mana base a little more. It'll be easier for us to double spell and stuff. So that does help, but I think our curve is much higher than we probably want it to be, and there's not a ton we can do about it. So, I like the Shield Basher okay, but we don't have a ton of ways to just put counters on random things, although it does train things really well, I suppose. That's a thing. Yeah. I mean, our curve's not a complete disaster. I mean, cutting some 3s would probably help too. It's not a great curve, but it's not a disaster either. I'm thinking I might cut Kindly Ancestor and maybe a Weaver. I mean, again, our curve's kind of high, but it's not crazy high. Kind of do have to hold on to the 2s. I guess maybe we don't want Adamant Will desperately. I mean, it's a nice trick. But it is still a trick. Yeah, so I think we cut Adamant Will. I think we cut a Kindly Ancestor. I mean, the Slinger's not amazing. I don't think one would normally cut it, but when your curve is mediocre, maybe we want to. Probably not. Cut a land. We could consider it, I guess, with 3 Mana Dorks. We do have kind of a high curve, including the Oddity's ability too, which we want to get to, but with 3 Mana Dorks, we can maybe get away with it. But that seems a little crazy. I think maybe I cut one of these 1-drops, honestly, although probably not. I mean... yeah, probably. It's not like we don't have a bunch of early plays already. Yeah, I mean, another 4-drop would be nice. And if it is a 4-drop, it's probably the Slinger. The Wolf isn't great. I don't disagree. It's just that our curve is what it looks like. But yeah, it probably is just a Wolf. I mean, it does make our curve a little bad. But, yeah. The only reason I think the Minister might work okay here is it works good with all our training and evasion, but it's not amazing. But I think we leave it in. And I think we stick with 17 lands. Yeah. See how this goes. We did not end up with the best curve in the world, as you may have already heard me say. But I think, I think we'll be... I think this deck looks like it's not going to get completely destroyed. Famous last words, you know? When you say the shuffler, Mr. Anime Shane, I think you just mean randomness. Curve don't matter when you got bombs. Well, I'm not sure we have a bomb. So, Ovenwald Oddity is close. It's skirting bomb territory, that's for sure. I don't believe in the shuffler conspiracy theories, everybody, because guess what? They're not real. So if you think there's a problem with the shuffler, it means you don't shuffle very well in real life. I think we keep this. No white's a bit of a bummer, but we have, stuff. Do I just want a circle of... Oh, I can't. So no reason to think about that. Yeah, we know it draws 2 hands for you, but all that's about is your opening hand in best of 1. That's not the shuffler. That's just like how opening hands work on Arena. Yeah, that's not good. We might be about to get run over by things. Do I want to attack with my wolf? I kind of do. I mean, I'd be willing to trade for the Griff Rider. Okay, so we'll just play our statue here. We will be able to Circle of Confinement something this turn. I wouldn't hate if they played an artifact or a zombie. Yeah, that card's good. Okay, so we can double spell here with the help of our statue. Yeah, so I think we attack again with our wolf. And then maybe I should have just slammed the oddity here. That might have been the right move. I got kind of hung up on wanting to kill something. So let's play our Weaver here. And then we'll play Circle of Confinement, and I think we take the flyer away. I think I probably should have just played my oddity there and said, what are you gonna do? And yeah, when you talk about the shuffler and you say it's proven it gives you 2 hands, like that's just that's something Wizards told us openly, so it's not like a problem with the shuffler, you know. What? So I think we just take this 3. See what they play here. See, now it definitely feels like the smarter move was to play our oddity. Oh my gosh, my cat. So we've got 7 mana, so I could have played my oddity last turn. Yeah. Okay. Well. I think we attack here. So, then, because I want this to flip, I think I'm going to use it here. If I'd played this last turn, I think we probably win. If they have removal, maybe not, because I guess if they can kill it right away, we won't be able to do what we want, but yeah. And that probably means they would have killed it that turn. Still probably was a much better play than what I did. Okay. Confined. Like, how likely is it that they have like what they need here? Not super likely. So this is even gonna untap. So this, oh, it doesn't untap till my instep. So they could swing back at me for 9, and I can hit them for 8, 10, 11, 12. So actually we can't swing here and feel good about it. Not with everything, anyway. Oh, this will transform and we'll have a blocker. Yeah. I think that makes this make more sense. Yeah. I guess if I can get them to set up a weird block, I'll be pretty happy. Because I can do this at instant speed, so... So that happens, then our statue untaps. So if they have removal, we are dead. I mean, that's what it comes down to here. We're at exactly 9, and they can do 9. It does not give vigilance, unfortunately. Thank you for the resub, Leningrad. Just trample and haste. And thank you for the gift sub to Leningrad. So I think we would have won already if I'd played more intelligently than I did. Given the fact that they're here struggling to figure out what to do. I could have only played one blocker, but I guess maybe that was worth it. So this looks encouraging. That was encouraging indeed. So we get some free mana here. My creatures have haste, so that's something to remember. I think we probably just win now, especially with our flyer. Thank you for the bits, Jay Dorfer, and thank you for the sub, Magda Caden. Yeah, so we play this. Then we play another land, and we play this. And we swing out. I guess leaving up mana to give something else flying might have been better. Uh-oh. Does that mean they win? That might actually mean they win. The life gain there is legit. Okay, well that's going to trample. So no, they don't. Okay. Yeah, too much trample damage. Too much trample damage. You know, it turned out we weren't overcommitting. Because they had the removal that gained them life. So I think we kind of had to go all out with the mana and cards they had. Because kill a thing, gain 3 life was a very real problem there. I guess if I just attacked with like my 8/8 and the flyer, it probably would have been okay, but yeah. This is not a great hand. I mean, if we draw a forest, it's perfect, you know, but I think we have to mulligan it, probably. I think it's probably what it is. A mulligan. Thank you for the sub, Foamwall Jackson. Oh my god. Well, we're keeping this one, but I'm not loving it. Oh yeah, we do have this. You know, I was talking about not having a bomb, and I do think he's a bomb. It's just called randomness. It's not called shuffler. I need to do an MTG top 10 on my 10 biggest Magic pet peeves. I think Shuffler Talk would be at number 1. I think that's where it would end up. The way our hand looks, I was kind of hoping our opponent wasn't going to show up. They're taking a little while. If we draw a forest, we're okay. And we have like 2 turns to do it and still be okay. But yeah, we're not in great shape. I can tell you that. That is a plains. Let's hope they whiff. They do not. So, Brambleworm. I'm glad they milled Glorious Sunrise. But, not if they have Retrieve or whatever. And they probably do if they're that into milling themselves. There's a good chance they have Retrieve. Yeah, Torrens is a great card, period. You know, he's basically Monastery Mentor, which is a card that had to get restricted in Vintage for reference, so... I really need a forest. That's not a forest. Luckily, they're not pressuring us a ton, but I think we're ending up so far behind that we're going to be in trouble very soon. Very, very soon. Yeah, I'm glad they missed out on a damage there, but I'm not sure it matters. So here they bash us for 9. So if I draw a forest, I can literally only play 1 card in my hand, too. So we're dead. I mean, no bones about it. It's rough when you mulligan a hand because it has a problem, and then you mulligan down to a 6-card hand that has the same problem. Because you ended up with a way worse situation. I'm glad they missed out on that damage, too. Hey, we got a forest. I don't think... It's definitely too late, so... Should have mulled to 5, yeah. I mean, once we got... We couldn't really mull to 5. I mean, that would lower our win percentage on average even more. Given what happened, of course, you know. It sort of feels that way, but... You think there's something fishy going on. Well, we did get this hand again. I do think we keep this one. It's much better because we actually have a card we can play, so... I'm pretty happy about it. Getting mana screwed is unfortunately not fishy in Magic. It's just part of the game. You should mull to 5 sometimes. Like if you have a 5 land hand, a 6 land hand, or... There's definitely times you mull to 5. Hey, this guy showed up and really bailed us out in our mana issues in game 1. Let's hope the statue can do it again. Oh, we're working on it. I kind of think it might be better to play the wolf just because I can start training my trainee. Yeah, the oddity has shown up a ton. It's been nice. Nah, it's probably better to just play the statue and then slam the oddity next turn. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. So we'll attack here. There's a chance they have counter magic, which would be annoying, but that would be true over no matter what we played there, so. So that's a really scary payoff. I'm hoping I can just kill them before it matters, though. That's the goal here. So these both rumble here. Training happens. So this starts cranking things out. Yeah. So it's going to crank its first thing out here. Okay. So I think Weaver Wolf makes sense. Then we'll be 1 mana away from transforming it again. So, yeah. Let's see if it survives first, I guess. It does not. Yeah, that's gross. That is gross. That Whispering Wizard is a very strong card that I'm not super happy to be dealing with. So I think we play Basher, Snarling Wolf here. Yeah, things aren't very pretty right now for us. Ooh, that's helpful though. I can actually play him and get a thing right away. Does mean I don't attack this turn, but I think that's all right. So let's play Torrens. Well, actually, I can do Death Touch, so I may as well. I don't really have a good attacker, though, since I don't have any mana, but... attacking with the wolf seems like it has very little value. I guess it's fine, though. It's not exciting. They can just trade with X1s and stuff, but... yeah. Our opponent having the removal was not fun for our oddity, and this card is just bonkers. I'm excited to play with it myself. It's unfortunate I had to face it down before I got to play with it, but, you know. I don't really see a way we can win. I mean, even though we have our own creature token engine going on right now, it's a very difficult situation. Okay, let's go with green. I'm not super low on removal. I mean, we finally drew some, but it's not the kind that's good against Whispering Wizard, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I think we're going to play our Scorpion here. Give our Shield Basher that. Do I give my Shield Basher indestructible, or would I rather just play another creature? I actually think just playing another creature might be better for us. So we're going to decline. Let's see if they have a thing to grab here. I'm sort of guessing they do. Yeah. I mean, you don't really play that card unless you do have a thing. Alright, so I'll play Weaver here. So we're trying to go wide enough to finish them off before they can finish us off. And we have a chance, but not a huge one. The imprisonment may give us the edge we need, but we'll see. Okay. So what's annoying here is my Sigarda's imprisonment, we'll give them a 1-1, right? I mean, we want to get a blocker out of the way anyway, because we're dead on their next turn, so... yeah. Yep, so it would give them another token. Okay, so... here we go. We're dead on the next turn anyway, so... let's get rid of a blocker here. And swing out, I guess. I don't think we're going to be able to kill them. It doesn't really matter, so we're going to decline. I mean, yeah, they're not dead. Even if they'd taken... I guess they didn't have to take... They don't even have to block that much. Yeah. That was an unfortunately amazing start for them. You know, this time... yeah, I mean, our opponent just outdid us. You know, the removal for our Oddity and then Whispering Wizard was just too much to overcome. And we dead. That wizard's definitely not broken, but it's an excellent uncommon. There's a significant difference between those two things. There's another pet peeve. The way people use the word broken or bomb. I'm building my top 10. Alright, so this deck definitely deserves to do better than 1 and 3, so let's see if we can avoid that start. It is funny how many of these hands we've had today where we just only have one color, but... this hand would have been a pretty sweet curve out if we had white. So we kind of have to play this, even though we're not getting the value. But we need to add to the board, I think. Play our Weaver here. So we can play our Oddity this next turn. It has been nice it's shown up every game, that's for sure. So they left mana up, which is not something I love, but I think we still slam our Oddity here and go for it. That's rough. So we're not going to be able to block anyway, so I may as well rumble with our Scorpion. That's aggressive, to say the least. Yeah, I was worried about Syncopate there, but I was hoping they didn't have it. So now we have a bunch of mana, which is... that part's nice, right? So... we could try to pressure them, but I think it's probably just better to use this mana. Because that gets us 6, which means we can play out Griffwing Cavalry and Perish Blade Trainee. It does mean this is going to transform again, but I think I'm okay with that. Let's see if they have more counter magic here. I think they do. No? Oh, auto-tap. Auto-tapped. I got auto-tapped. That's rough. I didn't like that. So I needed to tell it how to use my mana the correct way. And that's really annoying. How do you do it with floated mana like this? Frustration. With the mana like that, I don't really understand how I'm supposed to do this. Which is fun. I only want to use 1 white. Is it going to ask me if I want to auto-tap? Ugh. No. I just think it's going to F everything up again. So I don't believe in it. I think... so, alright, fine. We're going to try... hopefully this doesn't make us lose. If we hit control and I play Perish Blade Trainee. Okay. So there we go. Alright. We did it. Screwed up my last turn because of it, but, you know. Let's try not to screw up this turn. So the reason I don't want to play the Quartermaster just yet, yeah, they have all the counter magic, which is a little frustrating. So this next turn we can play our Quartermaster, hopefully. Except I still kind of don't want to, frankly. Just because I don't have anywhere to put the counters, but... I think we probably do it. Oh, I actually can't now. Because of how my mana shakes out. Okay. So, in that case... maybe I just slam Laid to Rest here and attack them. Yeah, that doesn't seem bad to me. It's going to be hard for us to win this game just because of how little we've done on these first few turns. They've had answers for the things we did do. We, like, threw turns away. I mean, there's been some ugly stuff. I mean, I guess we didn't throw a whole turn away. The only good news seems to be that our opponent is having problems. They're flooding out, you know. That's what keeps us in the game here, to some extent. Alright, so I think we just rumble with the Trainee here and then play Griff Rider and Dawnheart Disciple. Probably about to play an exploit card if I had to guess. I think getting Laid to Rest out does give us a lot more of a chance than we had a minute ago, just because it gives us something of an engine to win a longer game. I'm sure they have some crazy bomb waiting in the wings for us. They're definitely a grindy, very grindy deck, though, which might bode well for us. Be cool to draw white here? No? Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, I think we just attack with everything. And let our guy transform, and then we can play our Quartermaster next turn. If they kill a human, we get to draw a card. So maybe we'll draw something good. I don't know. They get to draw a card too. Of course. Ooh. Why? Yeah, okay. Wow, I think we might win this. I mean, we had an ugly start to this game, but our opponent is just spinning wheels for the most part, and that doesn't bode super well for them. Yeah, I shouldn't have played green earlier. It's true. It is very true. Alright. So... I can actually play my Angel now, and I think it's probably what I want to do. So yeah, play Quartermaster. Syncopate won't do it here. And then we'll put a counter here and a counter here. Well, there's a really good card. Definitely like a lower range bomb, but not such a huge bomb that it just like overwhelms us immediately. Hopefully. They do get to see the card on top, so they may get a free card here, which would kind of suck, but... That is a lot of bodies. Ooh, Wolf Strike is great here. Okay. It's not Knight, unfortunately, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. They could have a bounce spell here. So let's think. If they do have a bounce spell, I guess I'd rather the Weaver get bounced than anything else. See if this works. This can't block, right? Yeah, can't block. Not us, anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot to update it to Vow. Oh, it can block flyers. Yeah, I'm dumb. I think that's still an okay attack overall, but yeah. I guess I'd rather kill the bigger creature, although the better blocker might be more of a problem in the long run. The one that gains them life, probably also what we want to kill. Makes sense. Okay, so now we can just play out both of these. Okay. Things are getting a little interesting. So because when my humans die, I draw a card, I'm honestly inclined to just rumble here. I do think we need to do this. But apart from that, I think we just attack with both the Weaver and the Perish Blade Trainee. Let them do what they will. So we're going to draw 2 cards here, kill both those creatures, and also put the counters on our Minister. Yeah, laid to rest was key here. I mean, I think it's going to let us win the game here late. I think just playing another body is worth it here, even though the ETB is a little annoying. You know, not getting the ETB is annoying. Yeah. Another body's good. A body that can trade. They're going to get a blood token here. They only have 7 cards left in their library, and there's got to be some bomb in there, which is really bad news for us, I would say. Okay. Well, I think we attack with our Minister. It does block Scorpions, it's true. So they're going to try to, like, build their own massive Angelic Quartermaster here. I think that's their plan. And I think we're okay with it. I mean, they have to block the Minister here. Or die. So they probably double block and plan on slapping both of these onto the Quartermaster, which is going to be, would be pretty impressive, but yeah. So we're going to add mana here just to do it. I guess we'll wait. We just need to remember to do it on our opponent's turn. We want to add the mana just so we can get our statue going. So our opponent is unfortunately still at 3. There's got to be a crazy bomb in their deck. That's not the craziest of bombs. Luckily. Ah, okay. Well, that's pretty spicy. Aggressive. So I think I just take 6 here. I haven't loved how we've drawn here late. I can tell you that much. Okay. Well. So if I pump the Scorpion and attack, that's a pretty good attack. It's probably what we do. They go to 1 here. Yeah, I was going to say, they probably trade. They kind of have to. And then we'll play Torrens, who will also get to 3 power next turn if he's allowed to attack. Our statue may end up having to block here. Let's see what our opponent does. Yeah, this set does seem like it has an inordinate number of rares that are really good. So they can pump. Oh, that's a problem. Is it enough of one? So yeah, we have to block here with our statue now. We want to hold on to Torrens because he'll become a 3/3 when he attacks. He does draw me a card if he dies, which matters, but yeah. Arm the Cathars is nasty there. Well, it felt like we were going to get there, but I don't think we are now. We didn't get a whole lot of help. Things were going really our way for a while, and then they just fell apart. We're still not completely dead, but we're working on it. Yeah, you're unblockable. Which means I have to block you. And I guess I'd rather do it with Torrens at this point, although I guess the extra bodies really matter. But they matter less because the Monstrosity can just kill us unblockable next turn. But I guess holding on to the 3-power creature makes the most sense. I do get to draw a card. Yeah, they got us. What a bummer this draft ended up being. Oh, man. We had horrible luck that draft. The number of lands we drew is not ideal. Our opponent, the only reason we were really in that game is because our opponent was very close to... they were really flooding out, and that's why that game ended up being close at all, because the game started really poorly for us, really. I screwed up that turn with the mana. That was a big thing, and probably ended up costing us the game in the long run.